Welcome to another episode of Mick and the Fat Man, digging the dirt on life, music, and everything. And now here's the Fat Man.
Well, thank you very, 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 very much, Princess Fanula, our favourite dairy girl. Welcome to Mick and the Fat Man, talking life, music and everything. Welcome to Series 2, Episode number 19. Mick, we both love sport, and even more so extreme sport. And after the last show, when we envisaged a world revolutionised by the pogo stick, where travel with the pogo becomes the norm, Mick, I found a bit of a problem.
And what's that, man?
Another form of extreme sport may be at risk from the extensive use of pogo, and that's extreme eating.
I would have thought they were ideally matched.
So here's the problem. I've been getting right into extreme eating, not myself personally, but watching people do it, watching people eat lots of food. It's great. And I've been watching a fella by the name of Beard Meats Food, M-E-A-T-S. I'll put a link in the show notes for this. And he's a young bearded lad who travels around consuming large meals for bragging rights and a T-shirt usually. And he eats things like 2 kilos of steak and a couple of potatoes, and then he'll eat, so this one here, he's eating the Swing Belly. It's that restaurant called the Swing Belly, and he gets a full rack of ribs, a quarter pound of pulled pork on Texas toast, a quarter pound of brisket, 4 Swing Z wings, whatever the fuck they are, 3 rid tips, and 2 sides. And he chooses mac and cheese and coloured greens. I don't even know what coloured greens are. Plus, he got 2 pieces of sweet cornbread, and it's all on one big large tray. And he has got an hour to eat it. And if he eats it, it's $60. Or if he eats it all in an hour, it's free. And he gets a T-shirt, and he gets bragging rights on the Wall of Fame.
Well, that's not unusual in the land of restraint and economy. They have restaurants where you can go in and on the menu, if you can, here's the big dish. If you can eat this, you don't pay for it.
So look, just have a bit of a listen. He's actually a pommy, which is interesting.
Oh, that's sad.
Anyway, let's talk a little bit about the challenge. It consists of mostly smoked meats. You get ribs, rib tips, whatever the heck they are, chicken wings the size of your face, pulled pork, pulled beef, I think, 2 slices of Texas toast, and 2 sides of your choice.
Look at the size of these wings.
So yeah, it goes on like that, and you basically watch him consume all of this food. But I'm just worried that if he finally does consume all the food, how does he go on the pogo leave? And does that mean the food is kind of left behind as he's bouncing down the street? That's what I'm thinking. Like I just go, boy.
Well, I think even worse, since you were talking about returned energy, you had some fancy finagling name for it last time.
Yes.
And I think if he's got all that extra weight that he's pouncing down on the single point of impact, he's going to get a hell of a bounce. He'll be 3 stories up.
He'll be bouncing away like buggery. But anyway, so look, interestingly, you can actually book him to come and eat for you.
That'd be fantastic.
So we could get him over to Australia. He could come like for a Christmas party, and we could just feed him lots of food.
Well, I don't think Alan Joyce would put that much food on the plane.
No, but we can get him eaten here. We get him out here, and like you and I, basically, I don't know. We could feed him weird shit. Say, "Oh, look, eat that car." Remember the guy that ate the car?
That was years ago in country fairs, and God, he had nothing else to do.
He was there with grinding up bits of the car, putting it into soup, sort of thing, and eating it.
Really weird.
I don't know whether he lived. He may have just carved it.
It used to be hell walking past magnets for that bloke.
Anyway, I'll put a link in the show notes. Watch him eat the Tex-Mex challenge, which is a 5-pound burrito, which might be a little bit of a... I know. You wouldn't think you could make a burrito 5 pounds, would you?
Wow, that's extraordinary.
It is extraordinary. So, yeah. Anyway, so, Mick, we did have an email from Nick... said we weren't nice for some strange reason.
Right, yes.
I didn't understand why he said that. I thought he would have said, gee, you're good blokes, but he didn't. He said you're a pair of what's-names. Anyway, what have you been up to recently, mate?
I've been out and about and watching TV and all sorts of bloody things.
You're
mate.
a good TV watcher, aren't you?
I am. Look, you just sit down there on the comfy Norwegian chair and let it wash over me. Look, tell you what I did watch and what I would say to people to have a look at. It's a show called Take 5 with Zan Rowe. Now, Zan Rowe is a DJ, and at various points in her life she's been on Triple J, and she's really very good. Not pompous, just likes to have a chat, and so she gets people on her show. And the first one that I watched was with Guy Pearce.
Guy Pearce.
Yeah, it's a good Aussie that she was talking to in LA.
What's he? He's an actor.
He's an actor.
Oh, okay, good on it.
He stands on buses with a diamond encrusted train going out to Broken Hill. Broken Hill.
That's right. What was the movie called?
Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. That's right. And that's right. Did the thing on top of the bus with the thing going there. Yeah, great, fantastic.
And he's been in a whole lot of other movies. He's probably one of Australia's greatest exports aside from Russell Crowe.
Well, he's the perfect person to ask about music then, isn't he?
Well, he is. But what was great was they talked about his 5 favourite pieces of music, and other than one, it was our list.
Oh,
Man,
what's he got on his list?
I'll tell you the things. He started out with Peter Gabriel.
Nice. Salisbury Hill?
No, nothing so obvious.
Oh.
He picked up Here Comes the Flood off the first album. Lord, Here Comes the Flood. Yeah, it sounded a bit like Peter Gabriel, didn't it?
Sounded identical, in fact. It's bizarre.
Yeah, we'll get sued for playing that, and I'll say, no, it wasn't Pete. It was
cover.
Nick.
It was Nick
It was
doing
a cover
version. What else he got on there?
Well, Bluebell Knoll by the Cocteau Twins. Now, I know you were expressing who the hell is the Cocteau Twins.
I've never heard of Cocteau.
But have a listen to them. You can probably get them on Spotify and Apple and whatever your streaming service is. Lovely, beautiful music. Much of it is a sort of an ethereal type sound. Now, Robin Guthrie's on guitar. Liz Fraser is the singer, and she was terrified of singing. So she had real stage fright, and so she couldn't sing words. So she sings, as Bowie dubbed it back in '77, wordless vocals. And she's got a beautiful
Doesn't make
voice.
any sense to
Well,
me.
it's lovely. Have a listen to it.
Sounds stupid.
Well, of course it would. Yeah.
So here's this chick who can't say words, but she can say nothing, but still get up on stage and do nothing as long as it doesn't make any sense at all.
It doesn't make any sense at all. But neither does Take That or One Direction.
True. All right, I'll have a listen. Have a listen.
And then he trotted out a couple for you. He trotted out the Beatles.
Yep.
I Want You, She's So Heavy.
Great song.
Yep, it
Great
is.
song.
Can't argue. And then Swallow by Kate Bush.
Love Kate.
Yep.
Love everything Kate does.
You're a man of Kate Bush, yes.
Although I'm not a completely avid fan of 50 Words for Snow, I must admit. It's a little bit on the edge for me.
Yeah, well, I've found pretty much anything she did after Lionheart's fairly dull.
Come on, buddy. Jesus Christ.
And of course, he made a serious misstep as he got to number 5 when he talked about, he said, oh, great, the song Hallelujah. And he said, Jeff Buckley.
Error.
I turned the TV off then. I thought, it's a serious mistake. And he's only said Jeff Buckley because he hasn't heard any of the at least half a dozen excellent versions which have been done by people.
Look, we can all make mistakes sometimes. And if you don't know the proper version, you may not have listened to it. And you can't blame me.
Well, that's very true, and we've done our best to try and get people to listen to the John Cale version.
We have.
And it's, in fact, even if you don't want to go and look up John Cale, just watch Shrek, and that's the John Cale version on the screen as Shrek flollops around on the screen by a pond.
But who's singing that? It's
John Cale.
Is it?
On the TV, on the soundtrack, it's Rufus Wainwright, but on the screen, on TV, on the movie, it's John Cale.
We better watch it.
Yeah,
well, I didn't spot that.
Well, you're too busy having your brain washed out by Kate Bush, mate.
I quite like Rufus Wainwright. I know lots of people probably don't, but I don't mind him.
Oh, he's all right. Yeah,
he speaks well of you.
Well, he does. Well, it's the check that I send him.
The monthly check.
That's the one. Yes, yeah. But given that one of my passions in life is that everybody should sing and listen to the John Cale version of Hallelujah. Even Leonard Cohen did.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Well, John Cale's arrangement trimmed the song down to something a lot tighter than Leonard originally wrote it. And so Leonard, after Cale did it in 1991, he arranged it, cut out, it was a 17-verse opus, so he cut it down to 4 or 5 verses. Down to 50. And Leonard Cohen then adopted that version as his.
Huh. Well, good.
Yeah.
Good on Leonard.
So that was nice.
Very nice. What else? Well, and all right, so I also have watched a little bit of Zanra. I saw her talking to Tori Amos, which was really interesting too.
Excellent. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't remember what song she liked, but anyway.
I haven't heard a lot of Tori Amos's stuff lately, but certainly the first couple of albums she did, Little Earthquakes,
They were
terrific.
a little bit groundbreaking, really, weren't they? So
Yes.
they did really interesting voice and stuff. But I haven't listened, like you, I haven't listened to her for yonk. So we will see how she. We should probably have a think about that. I'll see her. We'll see if we can put it. I wonder if she's in 1001 albums.
Well, that wouldn't make it a random selection then, would it?
We can be unrandom if we want.
Oh, that's right, because we made the rules.
So
It's our rules. It's our bloody rules. We'll do what we bloody well like.
do what I like, lad.
I've been out seeing shows as well.
What? Oh, look out! Look
Yeah.
out!
Mate,
Where you been?
Yeah. The problem is that with this podcast, the people I've been going to see, I should think of it as work.
You might be able to get a tax deduction.
Oh, I'm keeping all the receipts, mate.
That's the way.
A couple of weeks ago, I went and saw the Sisters of Mercy, and
Who's in that?
Andrew Eldritch and some other people.
That's right. When you mentioned it to me, I didn't have any idea who you're talking about as per normal.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it was good. Was it good?
It was excellent. Yeah, yeah. Like a lot of the people that we talk about, his voice is shot to pieces.
Yeah.
Now, it could be at the time he might have had a lurgy or a flu or something, but they turned him down and turned the band up.
Have they got some nice young ladies? Do you have some nice young ladies doing the singing for you?
Not a lot, no, not like
Unlike
Phil or Paul McCartney,
Brian
or
Ferry style. Yeah. Well, no. Paul McCartney gets the drummer to do all the high stuff for him. I don't know who the drummer is, but he's got that drummer there, and he sings probably the vast majority of the songs.
Well, fair enough. McCartney just sits back and says, "I wrote this bloody stuff. I don't need to sing it now."
It really is a bit shot, the poor old Paul.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, the lighting of Sisters of Mercy, it was done at the Enmore Theatre in Sydney.
Yep.
You know, mid-sized suburban theatre.
Couple of thousand, is it?
Yeah, a couple of thousand tops.
Yeah.
And
It's not bad. I don't mind it.
like a lot of the bands that we go and see these days, there was a fair smattering of skin on top of heads.
Elderly gentlemen.
Indeed, yeah, and people who've got the grey hair syndrome. But the lighting on the show was interesting. There was no focus on Eldritch at all.
Oh.
It was all around the place, and he sort of moved in and out of the light. The light was there, pointing to the middle of the stage as per normal, and he moved around the stage and came in, came out, did whatever he liked.
Is that because they didn't have a lighting person on hand to have?
It could have been. Yep. He maybe he didn't want to have it focused that he couldn't sing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the songs are okay.
Great,
Okay.
and much of their sound is that driving, thumping bass and rhythm together. Anyway, a very very good, solid sound. When we were talking about Sisters of Mercy as an album that you should follow up, I did say that Eldritch plays everything, and he does do a lot in the studio by himself.
Right.
But live, he was augmented by a full band. So
It's helpful if you sound like a band, to actually have a band to do it.
It's a bit hard live to play the bass and the lead and intersperse it with rhythm.
Although I did tell you a while ago, I did go and see Tubular Bells live.
You did, yeah.
It was just two blokes did the whole thing, which was pretty impressive, I must admit. Pretty impressive.
Given that he got the cream of British musicianship to play on that album at the time, Mike Oldfield.
Did he? I thought he did it.
Well, he did a lot of it, but he had
Few
people
extra.
helping him out.
Yeah.
Oh, can I come and help you out?
I'll mow the lawn.
Yeah. And went and saw you went actually with me.
We went together.
We went together. And
We had
we had a nice date night.
We did, but we had a really shit meal before.
We did. That's what happens when you pick the restaurant.
Well, I thought it would be. Well, no, I can pick really good restaurants, but I just thought, it was not too bad about 5 years ago when it first opened, and obviously it just isn't anymore.
New chef, new owner.
Anyway, it was a bit shit, wasn't it?
Crap. Well, such is life. But the band themselves were great. They played in a small place off Oxford Street, again in Sydney.
Did you
That
say
happens to be where we lived.
Did you say who we saw?
Underground Lovers.
I don't think you did.
I don't think I did. well, they were on at this small place off Oxford Street.
And the band on before was called the Fables, wasn't it?
They were, yeah.
They kind of weren't too bad.
I really enjoyed them. You really enjoyed them. Yeah.
I can't say I loved them, but I didn't mind them.
Yeah, it's again that 90s wash type of sound, a very full full blended sound, if you like. There was no lead guitar or anything.
Not a bad foil for Underground Lovers, really.
Absolutely. And the Underground Lovers played Leaves Me Blind, which you've heard me wax lyrical about a couple of times, and it's, for my money, is one of the best albums ever made, best
Fantastic.
Australian albums ever made.
It was fantastic. I loved it. I loved it.
And it's not often you wax lyrical about
I've been
about
listening
a band
to it
live.
I was listening to it a lot ever since, and before. I really liked it.
Oh, that's great.
And I love Holiday. I love the song Holiday.
Yep.
Anyway,
Well, Philippa Nile, the woman in the band, she's got a great voice.
She does.
And none of them. The band is not about a voice. You know,
No.
they've got a couple of distinctive voices in there, but it's not a lead singer with a backing band type of arrangement. It's very much. One thing that I said to the band actually later on was that because we've never seen them before, all we've had is the albums to go by, and what live does is it gives you a much better idea of the contribution of each of the players. The bass player was terrific.
he's awesome, isn't he?
Yeah, really
Sitting
good.
there revving through with an old Rickenbacker bass. It was really good. Really good.
Love that.
Yeah.
And the sound was great. Yeah, and they got that great balance. It wasn't Supertramp. It wasn't note for note from the album.
No, you're right. It was very. You knew the songs, but they were different.
Yeah.
And the other thing was we didn't get COVID. We were stuck in a little bloody hall and with a whole bunch of elderly gentlemen, and we didn't get COVID.
Well, given that anyone who was going to die from it's already died.
Oh,
so,
maybe,
so
but yeah.
they've taken the virus to the grave with them.
But I feel we're doing all right.
So a good concert like that makes you go back and listen to the album with a new appreciation.
Yeah,
that's
that was
great.
good.
Last night I saw the Pixies.
Oh, well, the Pixies. They've been around for a while too,
Haven't
haven't they?
they? Yeah. I don't go and see a band unless they've got at least 30 years track record.
And where was that at?
That was at the Opera House, at the forecourt of the Opera House.
Oh, really?
They did a couple of nights in
They
a row.
couldn't afford to get inside it.
They couldn't. No. The security guards were actually there, arms linked,
Yep.
and stopping people from going.
Out.
Saying, "No, out, go
Out.
to the steps,
Go to the
sit
steps,
on the
buddy."
stairs." Yeah.
So you was on the steps looking down back the other way.
Yeah.
Nice.
The rocks from the Botanical Garden was the backdrop
Yep,
of the
nice.
stage. It was all very good. They had a fantastic. It's common these days to have big screens behind the band so
Sure.
you can see the players. But they had actually used that, and they started the concert with inverted commas documentary from the guy who's designed all of their album covers, talking about how he did it, what was involved.
Oh.
And it wasn't just, that's a nice photo. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll put a few lyrics, put a few words over the top, and Bob's your uncle. No, he actually put a lot of effort into making a pictorial representation of what they were trying to do on the albums. So
very good.
It was very, very interesting indeed. Now the Pixies, the sound. If you don't know them, have a listen. It's not everybody's cup of tea. But they're very a great mix of. Kurt Cobain once called them quiet loud. So they'd have quiet bits, and then all of a sudden they'd explode in this huge loud element. Black Francis's voice, the lead singer, can be beautiful and sweet and lovely, and then all of a sudden he sounds like the guy from Pantera. It really is. It's quite awesome.
It's an interesting vocal range.
Yeah. I took my daughter with me, and she loved them. She was the one who said, "Dad, let's go to the Pixies." So she
Good on her.
Yeah, good on her. And they were doing Surfer Rose, the album Surfer Rosa, and an earlier album EP called Come On Pilgrim. Plus, they then did a whole lot of stuff from Doolittle, which was great.
Excellent.
But she was listening to it, and she said it's like listening to a live version of Incesticide by Nirvana. And whilst it's common knowledge that the Pixies influenced greatly Kurt Cobain and Nirvana. To see them live, you could see that it was so obvious. You might as well have had Kurt Cobain out there playing rhythm. It was great. The sound was very much Nirvana, and I could see the drummer Dave Grohl took a few licks from him as well.
And was the sound okay?
Sound was great.
Oh, good.
Yeah, really good.
Good.
Yeah.
Sometimes hard to get an outdoor venue sound good.
Yeah, I was a little worried earlier in the day. It was quite windy, as it can get down there on the harbour shores, but it dropped when the sun went down, and the sound was great.
Oh, excellent.
Perfect. Yeah,
Your daughter's getting quite the education, isn't she?
isn't she? She's
Quite the.
Yeah, well, she's been brought up in a house where she has to listen to all of my crap that I inflict now on everybody else.
Poor bastard. Well, I got out and about as well after seeing the Underground Lovers. We also booked just at the local little venue up the street to see Harry Manx, who was a solo artist originally from the Isle of Man, but then basically grew up in Canada. So he lives in Canada, and he's kind of a blend of blues, folk, and I saw this written down about him, Hindustani. So he's got this sort of Indian element to him because he studied under this guy by the name of Vishwa Mohan Bhatt. Who's an Indian slide guitarist, come whatever. And this guy made his own instrument, and it's called the Mohan Veena. And it's a cross between a guitar and a sitar. So it has this sort of bizarre. So you can be playing this. So the guitar, if you see a photo of the guitar, it looks like a normal body of a guitar with 2 F holes in it. But all up the
what holes?
F holes.
Okay.
I just realised what come out a bit weird, didn't it?
Well, given your propensity for words beginning with the letter F, I'm just wondering what you're talking about there.
Anyway, this guitar's got 2 fuck holes in it.
You couldn't help yourself, yeah. I brought that on us.
And then all up the side of the neck is more strings, and the strings go diagonally across underneath the other. Anyway, it got a bit of a sitar sound. So yeah, quite interesting. Doesn't overdo it with that. He sort of played 2 or 3 songs with it, but mostly it's just a normal guitar. But very cool, very friendly. I had a joke. Here's a good joke. He told a good joke.
Oh no.
Just recently in my town, the dentist got bloody locked up for selling weed, like as a dealer. And he said, it absolutely amazed me because I had no idea he was a dentist.
That was terrible. Terrible.
I thought, that's kind of amusing. Anyway, we must move on. 1001 Albums You Must Hear Before You Die by Robert Dimery. Mick, I've decided we're going to cheat for the next few, and we're going to go deliberately to spots. So I was going to choose the very last album in the book, which is Jasmine Sullivan, Ho Tales. But then I looked across and I saw Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. And I thought, oh, fuck Jasmine, we'll do Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, Ghosteen. It came out in 2019. 68 minutes and 10 seconds. So it's actually a double album if you were to get it as an album. Produced by Nick Cave, Warren Ellis. Art direction by Nick Cave and Hingston Studio. And this album has been critically acclaimed as like one of the best albums in the history of the world and all the rest of it. So, yeah, it's very interesting. What did you think? I'll just go straight to you, Mick. What did you think of the album?
Well, I did think it was better than One Direction's second album.
Yeah, right.
But I must say...
I can't remember their second.
Oh, it was much the same as their first and third.
Right, because I've only listened to the fourth.
Look, it was so different, but most definitely still Cave. But his voice rarely raises above a mournful whisper on this album.
Yep. Look, I'll be honest with you, it didn't gel with me.
It didn't excite me, I'm afraid.
I was kind of waiting for it to end, but it went on longer than I thought.
68 minutes worth, mate.
Because one song is like 15 minutes or something. I thought, oh, Jesus Christ. I thought, oh, I don't think I can stand this.
Yeah, I did find the atmospherics were overly atmospheric. It was. Look, Cave has always been spiritual.
Mm.
Even
there's a lot of Jesus references, isn't there?
There is an extraordinary amount, yes. But what I also found is Cave's always been a bowerbird. What he pulls in, he reads a lot of. He reads the New Testament, of course, but he reads a lot of stuff: philosophy, novels, history, all that sort of stuff. And he's pulled in the lyrics out of Tiny Dancer by Elton John. So you find in the song track 3, "Waiting for You," he talks about Jesus freaks out in the street.
Ah,
so
that's interesting. I
thought that's not an expression that would come randomly.
That's interesting. Yeah, as you're right though. There's quite a lot of And I assume this has got something to do with the death of his son. This album, do you think?
Yeah. Look, he talks a lot about being unsettled, being unhappy. The last track, Hollywood, he talks about I'm just waiting for peace to come. It's repeated several times with several variations. Yes. And a keyboard wash over a muted rhythm track. It actually reminded me of the Sisters of Mercy song Colours.
It sort of seems like he's looking... I almost got this feeling that he was waiting to die so he could meet up with his son again. And I know that sounds...
I did get that feel.
Sort of like there was a few times there sort of... I can't remember the exact lyrics now, but something along the lines of I'm waiting to go and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So there was... Anyway. Yeah. Nonetheless, it's a long 68 minutes.
Yeah.
Long.
Yeah. I'm going to listen to it some more. Yeah, and because after all, look, it is Nick.
Yeah. It is Nick.
And I think any failure to appreciate it is probably ours rather than his. Maybe.
Well, as I said, some of the reviews of this album are just amazing. The best thing, as I say, the best thing since sliced bread. So, it's more likely to be us than.
Well, that's true, but at the same time, the stuff we listen to and talk about here isn't exactly all mainstream. A lot of it is, but
a lot of it doesn't even get a review anywhere because no one listened to it.
Well, there is that. That's because it's such quality.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Anyway, look, I'm glad. So what I'm going to do in a little while, we'll do the very first album in the book as well, and we'll do the middle album in the book. And we'll see what we come up with, just for something different.
So that'll be page 501.
Look, I did check. I did.
Don't look at it now.
I did work it out.
Don't want to give that away.
I did work it out. But anyway, so that's a little hint for those listening that's what's coming up very soon. All right, Mick. I think it's time to move on to the rattling around over there. I can see it. It's the Glowbite school bag, the hardcover version. And what have you got hidden away in there this week, mate?
Mate, I've got a little candle, and we're going to burn it. We're going to burn the midnight oil.
All right.
Did you like that? Did you see what I did there?
Oh, the band. The band.
Yeah, a bit obscure, maybe.
The band Candle.
That's the one, yes.
The Oils. Holy shit, what a ripper of a group.
Well, we got some comments early on in the day, early in season one, that it'd be great for you to do a lot more Australian content. So we're trying to push that.
Tick.
And the Oils are nothing if not one of the best bands ever produced by Australia.
One of the best bands with international acclaim.
Yep.
And just so many interesting things that have come out of this band. Some great music, of course, but like anthems, Australian anthems.
Absolutely. In fact, their music has been called anthemic. With a verse that sets out their policy position, and then the shouted chorus.
Yes, all right. So tell us a little bit about the band, mate.
Well, the band started on the northern beaches of Sydney, and they used to have a regular gig at the Royal Antler Hotel at Narrabeen, which, for those who aren't from Sydney, 25 k's northeast of the CBD.
Used to be part of the Miller Circuit back in the day.
Indeed, yes.
The Family Inn, the Riverwood Hotel,
Yep.
Narrabeen and Manly, and I think maybe something down Cronulla Way, but I don't remember exactly.
I think so, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, well, we picked up a few of those pubs.
And those bands used to basically tour around those hotels quite regularly.
And as I recall, the Rose Tattoo, we're a key member of that group.
Rosie Tats, My Sex.
Just out of interest, I had somebody tap me the other day and said, "You've got to do Rose Tattoo next year." So we might, because they're touring again.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm happy to do Rose Tattoo.
Yeah.
I've seen them more times than I really need to.
That's right. And Angry is one of the people who on stage says fuck more than you do.
Yeah. No, he's quite good, isn't he?
Isn't he just? The band, there was 5 members in the band. Peter Garrett on vocals. Peter Garrett, very tall, bald head, very striking appearance,
Gangly,
striking personality,
gangly.
very thin, yeah. And when he sings, you can see the veins sticking out on his neck. He puts his all, he doesn't leaves everything on the field.
And the steam rising from the top of his head
Absolutely.
in concert.
Yes,
Amazing.
Yeah. Jim Mogini on guitar, Rob Hurst on drums, and what a great drummer.
Great drummer. A fantastic drummer.
And there's nothing we like better than a good drummer.
He's fantastic.
Yeah. Martin Rossi on guitar, and the lineup of the band stayed remarkably stable from their very early days through to now.
Yeah.
So,
I
bass
think
player.
they may have played their last concert now, though.
I think so. Yeah,
Just
we
recently.
might talk about that, eh?
Just recently, I think they played their last concert. But, they've had a long career.
They have indeed. They've been idolised by Australia and Australians for all of that time. Even when some of the controversial things they've done have put them in hot water, wherever they've been.
They don't give a rat's ass, though, do they?
Not a bit. Not a bit. Bass player, Bones Hillman.
Yeah.
He wasn't their original bass player, but he was the longest serving bass player with the band, and he died in 2020, which is a bit of a shame. And unfortunately, that seems to be an addendum we put onto a lot of names we talk about here.
Unfortunately, yes.
It is. They weren't afraid of controversy. They were. Do you recall when the Olympics were held in Sydney in 2000?
Yeah.
Midnight Oil came to the staging area where the performers for the opening ceremony.
Was it the opening or the closing? I think they might have been the closing ceremony.
Oh, whatever. Yeah,
it might have been.
for one of the ceremonies at the Olympic Games, and they were dressed what seemed to be normally. And just as the truck that they were playing on went to go into the stadium to do the circuit and play their song, they stripped off what they had on, and underneath they had prison-style pajamas with "sorry" written all over it.
Oh, didn't the right wing love that?
Didn't that piss off a lot of people?
Oh, holy shit! I'm not sorry.
Yeah.
And all that, and that was one word, just one word, and so controversial.
Well, that whole issue caused and is causing still controversy in Australia, but that just showed their attitude. Stuff them if they can't take a joke, as another band recently said.
Fantastic! It was fantastic, and they were great, of course, but it was still such a because the whole thing about the Olympics is they try not to be political, which they totally are, but they pretend that they're not, you know, and that really did rile people up.
Somebody talking about Atlanta, perhaps.
Yes.
Yeah. Or Berlin, perhaps.
Oh, Berlin! No, nothing happened there.
Yeah, nothing happened there. They performed some of them really most inflammatory stuff on the back of trucks. Remember when they went to they took a flatbed truck into Wall Street and performed in front of Shell's offices in New York?
Do you know what they sang, or was it a set?
I can't remember, but they wouldn't have got a set through because
They would have got pissed.
NYPD would have had them moving fairly quickly.
Yeah.
But another one, we've talked about it on our Countdown episode. Midnight Oil was a band that didn't play on Countdown
Never played on Countdown.
because they turned up late one episode for one
Their first gig on the show.
their first time on the show, and they got held up through no fault of their own. Well, that's their side of the story. And the producer, despite it being a shambolic as buggery show, the producer said, "Well, sorry guys, you can't go on. Yeah, you're too late." So they were rightly pissed off about that, and they said, "Well, we're bigger than you. We won't come on this show ever again."
Never go on that show. Yeah. And it was, to be honest, though, at that particular time, they still weren't as big as they got to, so they still had some growing to do.
They did, yes.
But when they were famous, Molly even pleaded for them to go on the show, but they never did.
And that story really shows their attitude to things. Their attitudes didn't change much from the day that they were uni students playing together through to today. They're very much rights of people, Aboriginal rights, land rights, the environment and the rights of people to have a clean environment, and so on and so on. And once they made a decision, if it was properly informed, they stuck to it.
Yep.
Always strident about the sort of things that they were singing about. Some of their albums, Diesel and Dust.
What an amazing album.
Yeah, Aboriginal land rights. Blue Sky Mining, environmental. US Forces. The opening line of the song US Forces from 10 to 1. US Forces give the nod. It's a setback for your country.
And even one of their more recent songs now, it's called Change the Date. Into the deed. Anyway, so yeah.
They're right into it. Do you remember the film clip for US forces? It was filmed in Woolloomooloo, underneath the spaghetti western of roads that are there. It was in Catherine Street in Wollongong, where they've got these big concrete pillars that hold the road up a story or two high, and they were in there underneath it, with all the graffiti and the dirt and the dust and everything. And there was Garrett doing his usual
bouncing around,
screaming, aggressive jerky rhythms is something I've written down here.
Aggressive jerky rhythm. That's him.
That's Peter Garrett, all right, isn't it?
With and of course the symbol for the band being his hand splayed out.
Yeah, well, it always was. Ever since the early days, they've had very high energy. In fact, they had to tone down some of the energy, from the really screaming stuff that they started out with. Not so much toned it in terms of losing it, but channeled it. The stuff that they had, they channeled it into more organised songs, call and response type stuff. In fact, they were one of the banner bands for Australian pub rock.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. Indeed. And their first album in 1978, you talk about The Hand. They had a great single on that album called "We'll Run by Night." And at that stage, the image of Midnight Oil was the hand.
His hand.
Yeah, with an orange light around it. Yeah, it was great.
1978, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, blimey.
Oh, God, it makes you feel old, doesn't it?
1978.
Well, at least Garrett hasn't gone to the grey hair route like us.
No, he just shaved it off from the very beginning.
Exactly.
Never had to bother.
Exactly right, yeah. Second album, Head Injuries.
Yeah, great album.
How typical. It's confronting black and white shot of Garrett live.
Yep.
Yeah, and the text, again, yellow printed on black. Yeah, you couldn't miss it in the store.
I had that album.
Yeah,
Fantastic
great
album.
Yeah, that's one where we agree, mate.
Oh, good.
And their sort of breakthrough where they started to get people's attention was Bird Noises, their third album. But the really big breakthrough album for Midnight Oil was 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which I guess could be a countdown, but despite their refusal to appear on Countdown. But it was more commonly known as 10 to 1.
Great album.
It was a spectacular album. It was intended to break preconceptions of the band. They were that huge, high energy, live, great sound. Rah rah rah. But this one, they put a whole lot of sounds that they'd never attempted. They had things like brass, harmonies, more melodic tracks than something like Run by Night. They used drum machine, which is interesting. They used it. A lot of bands use a drum machine because their drummer's crap, or they don't have a drummer.
Yeah, so why do they use a drum machine?
Just to augment Rob Hurst's sound.
Okay.
Because the Oils, even from the early days, were nothing if not punchy live. A drum machine gives you the backbone, and it gives Hurst more of an opportunity to play things a bit more freewheeling.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Well, there you go. Produced by Nick Launay.
I should listen to this podcast.
I know, yeah. There's a great podcast called Mick and the Fat Man Talking Music. It's really good.
Really good. And if you get the opportunity, tell your friends about it.
Yeah, get them to listen to it. Yeah, I was talking to my daughter.
Again?
Did I tell you this one?
You keep talking to it, don't you?
Well, I know. I try not to, but I've got a very talkative family. And I said to him, she was telling me about a friend who loves music and likes much of the sort of stuff that we listen to. And I said, have you got him to listen to our podcast? And she said, oh, no, I should. He'd like it. So if you're listening to us and you enjoy it, get somebody else to have a listen to it. They might enjoy it too.
They might.
But back to Midnight Oil.
Yes.
Yes. That album, 10 to 1, spent 171 weeks in the Australian charts.
Only got to number 3, though, interestingly.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Very.
Well, we might do an episode next year about albums and singles that don't get to number 1.
Yeah. Yeah, but
that's no reflection on quality.
But that was the album that spent the longest in the Australian charts.
It was extraordinary.
That's a long time.
That's 4 years. 4 years. Well,
3.5 years.
Yeah, 150 is 3 years. Yeah. It's 7 times platinum. Yeah, people are happy if they get a gold record.
Yeah. No,
Everyone had it. We all had it.
They probably made a couple of bob out of that.
I reckon they might have. Yeah. And as is the way with a band that's as political as Midnight Oil, it was a response to what was happening in the world at the time. You got Maggie Thatcher going to war with Argentina.
Oh, that's right.
Who's going to win that one? Yeah. Two second-rate countries on the other side of the world, on the opposite side of the world, bluing with each other.
I watched. They did a bombing raid into Argentina from England. So they flew these old Vulcan bombers. I don't know whether you remember the Vulcans. They were like the 1940s style. Well,
they were props, weren't they?
No, they were jet.
Okay.
But not very fast jet. The first jet bomber that they ever made. And they flew it all the way down to Argentina to bomb something. I can't remember what they bombed now. Whatever they bombed, it worked. But they had to have air refuelling and all that sort of stuff, extra pilots and all sorts of stuff just to get down there and back. Because remember, they got their armada together. So they said, right, we're at war. We'll see you in a month. Wait till we get there, bastards. Don't move till we get there.
That's right, yeah. Or else.
Yeah, so they sent down a plane to bomb something. Okay.
Well, I think that was more symbolic.
Yeah, absolutely.
A bit like the Doolittle raid in World War II, where the Americans sent a fleet-ish of bombers across to Japan. They couldn't make it back. So they kept on going and landed. Some crash landed in China.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Just to say, you're not safe, boys.
Yeah, we'll
sort you out.
Yeah, we'll get you eventually.
Yeah. I mean, there was other things happening. IRA was quite active at this time. Yeah. So there were lots of IRA attacks.
The Troubles.
The Troubles. Oh, aye. And look, everyone was talking about the real possibility of nuclear war.
Just like we are again now.
Well, fun and how things never change. Yeah. Yeah. Look, remember what was on that album? Only the Strong. Read about it. And I've mentioned US Forces.
US Forces.
Yeah. And the Power and the Passion. Whoa, the power and the passion.
That is a fantastic song.
Yeah.
A fantastic song.
But it's not like you get a lot of albums where you hear, oh, that's a fantastic song. Oh, it's carrying the rest of the album. There was none of that happening.
No, not at all.
It was all a great album with a couple of standouts. They got lots of awards for that album. It was really the album to if you had any sort of awards show or program and you didn't have Midnight Oil 10-1 in it, it was a loser with no credibility. Yeah, Billboard, Countdown, even your world famous Kent. What do we call this book here?
It's the Australian chart book.
The Australian chart book, the David Kent report.
The only problem is it only goes to 1992, so I'm missing a few.
Yeah. Well, look, I've checked other sources about that report, and they've had 15 albums in the Australia's top 10 albums charts.
Well, Red Sail in the Sunset, Diesel and Dust, and Blue Sky Mining all were number one albums.
Yeah.
So.
And some of the others, they're not as well known, not as popular. But 20,000 Watt RSL, I'll mention that again later.
Oh, yeah,
but
that's
a great live album, really good. You've got to listen to it closely, but it's there. You've got to listen to it closely to recognise that it's live. So when you first hear it, the sound is so good, you think, wow, this is a studio.
What do you think? Have you listened to the last album, Resist?
I haven't. No, not yet.
Quite good.
Yep.
But I actually really do like the Makarata project. That's really good.
Yeah?
Yeah, really good. It's lots of duets.
Oh, good. Well, it's about time for you to start sending me some links.
Okay.
Regularly, Midnight Oil regularly, and 10-1 is the feature, but it's not the only album they've got that is recognised as an Australian classic. But any list of Australian best albums all time, you'll find at least a couple of Midnight Oil albums in there every single time. Triple J, look, I don't put as much credibility on Triple J's lists because they're a station that is avowedly youth oriented and deliberately so. That's their choice.
Yeah.
But what that means is that the people that they're targeting, not all, there's a lot of smart young people, but the people that they're targeting in general haven't had the experience or the ability to go back and listen to older stuff. They should listen to our podcast. So they're not going to vote for an album that happened before they were born in many cases.
Most cases.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just the way it happens, I'm afraid. But Diesel and Dust regularly appears in lists. Blue Sky Mining regularly appears. So they're not. They're not a shabby band. They're not a one-hit wonder, and they're not they were nice in that period of their career. They were great all the way through, full of high energy.
They never stopped. The only time they really let up for any significant amount of time is when Peter decided to become a politician.
Well, exactly.
And wasn't that an error?
Well,
for him.
Look, it's kind of the message that he'd been putting out ever since they started. That he wants to do something. And even when he was a politician, he was a politician for 9 years, which that's 3 elections he went through, and we've seen how more often than not elections punish idiots. Thanks, Scott. We'll be seeing you. And he did a lot of things. He didn't get as much ability to influence nuclear policy or conservation policy as he would have liked. He would have liked to be the environment minister.
He was for a minute or two.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the politics got in the way. And I think that's the sad part about it was that, he would have been much better as an environment minister, but he was quite a good education minister.
I thought he was great. When he spoke, it was very reasoned arguments. It wasn't like he was on stage pontificating. He was screaming. He always had good talking points, which you can see that he would have written.
He did end up with the pink bat disaster on his.
That's a bit of a shame, and he left politics soon after that.
It was a bit of a mess.
Yeah, it was good intent, but poorly managed.
But at the end of the day, it worked.
Yeah.
So what you saw was every man and his dog driving around installing pink bats. Sometimes well, mostly not.
Yeah.
But you knew for a fact that money was not going to go into the bank. Those people were going to piss that money up straight against the wall quick as possible. So they did put a lot of money into the economy. It did work.
Yeah. And for those who aren't familiar with or don't remember the particular scandal that we're talking about, it was the government, the Labor government at the time that Garrett was a member of, wanted to encourage Australians to put insulation in their roofing as an environmental feature,
but also after the GFC,
to spark employment, spark money going into the economy, and so on and so on. Great idea, but moderately poorly executed. And a couple of young blokes died up in the ceilings. Because it was pretty hot in some of those places, and it wasn't as well regulated as it could have been.
Wasn't regulated.
Well,
it's basically.
Well, if you say that it could have been well regulated and it wasn't, then it wasn't as well regulated as it could have been. Yeah. So that was a bit of a shame. But he also had he had a big role in public life, not just as a politician. He did 2 stints even as the president of the Australian Conservation Foundation, which is one of his great loves. That conservation things. And I must say that when he first started, I was probably a little more conservative than I am now. I've come around pretty much totally to his way of thinking. Yeah, I think he's very sensible.
Only got one world, can't destroy it now.
Exactly right. A lot of involvement with Indigenous issues while he was in the Parliament and out as well.
And that's the thing with Midnight Oil. They did a lot of touring in outback Australia, places that no bands have ever been to, except for some of the Indigenous bands.
Yeah.
Like they did the what one did they do? The Great Australian Highway, the Central Australian Highway, which goes through some Warburton and all these sorts of places. So they went to really, really remote communities.
Cool.
And played.
Yeah, they certainly did that, and that inspired a lot of their later music. After having done that, they recorded Diesel and Dust,
and they recorded and they toured with people like the Warumpi Band and things like that. So it toured with Indigenous bands as well.
Absolutely. What were they like live?
Fuck me! What a fucking band live!
Yeah,
holy shit!
They were great, weren't they?
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh my God, there was so much power. Yeah. And I think we have to talk briefly about that time we saw them down at Wanda Beach. So I don't even know how long ago it was. It's a long time ago.
Long time ago.
There was a free concert on Wanda Beach. It's got like this sort of natural amphitheatre behind the beach. And there was a whole bunch of bands playing, but Midnight Oil came on towards the end. And Mr. Garrett came out with a surfboard under his arm, holding a flare and wearing a pair of budgie smugglers only, a pair of Speedos.
You remember the reason for that? Because it was pissing down rain. He didn't want to get his clothes wet.
He was almost naked. And did the whole concert like it. It was great.
It was a really, really strong
Whoa.
concert. And on a bill that had the cream of Australian music. It was probably the best free concert I've ever seen. It was there. If memory serves us, it was In Excess
Indeed.
in the early days. MySex,
Yes.
a band called The Machinations, which did a sort of faux reggae type of thing, and a bunch of other up-and-coming bands, and Midnight Oil. And they blew all the others off stage.
And it was a free concert for youth unemployment in the area, I think, from memory.
Probably.
But so they were walking around collecting money and stuff like that. But
All right.
oh my God.
Yeah, and they played just a grab bag of their stuff. Yeah, it wasn't a preachy sort of concert. Midnight Oil let their songs do the preaching. They didn't generally adopt on stage. They didn't adopt a preachy attitude.
If you hunt around, you can find bits of that concert on YouTube. There are bits of it on there.
Might even see us.
We're up the
they're
back.
on the hill up the back.
We're
Yes,
up the back.
Yep. We saw them at a pub on the circuit, the Family Hotel. Hotel.
The Family Hotel.
Yeah, the Family Hotel at Rydalmere, which is, again, for people who don't know Sydney, it's out probably one suburb away from Parramatta. So almost in the geographic centre of Sydney, but well and truly west of the harbour. They were great. Garrett was prowling all over the stage like a bloody caged lion. It was just awesome.
Well, that's right. Awesome indeed. And speaking of small venues, what are you thinking about the new digs? Because in our new studio, it's very nice. I still haven't put some of the soundproofing up, so it might be a little bit echoey this episode. But it is in the new studio. It's got everything you could possibly need, including tools. Cordless tools. So we can do a bit of tool work later on, Mick.
I think we should. Well, someone suggested we should put Mick and the Fat Man on YouTube so people can see what we look like. I'm not really keen on that idea. That'll probably destroy whatever credibility we have left.
Yeah, that's right.
Not that there's a lot, but And the tools behind me, it's nice how you got all the screwdrivers set up there in sizes.
I've always wanted to have screwdrivers sitting on the wall, like on checker plate type stuff, looking great. And I've got some spanners and a few other, I want to put a few other things up, but it's really just there for looks, not for practicality.
Oh, right. Well, it looks great because those spanners, again, they go from a very tiny one through to a mid-size one.
Little ones up to big ones.
It's lovely.
Fantastic. Yeah. But in the top drawer, I've got a socket set, if you want to go through there, Mick. There's a nice socket set and the like.
I've never seen a drawer in a tool shed so tidy.
Beautiful, isn't it?
I don't think it'll ever be disturbed, Jeffrey.
Look at that big socket. Does that get you bloody going, doesn't it? Size 32 socket.
It's a Sid Chrome as well.
Sid Chrome size 32 socket. You could do some shit with that, mate.
You can hand a man a granite spanner.
Sid Chrome. Anyway, sorry.
Enough of that nonsense.
The Rydalmere Hotel, Wanda Beach.
And then you went and saw them recently up in Broome.
So up in Broome, up there for the last 3 months. Anyway, my daughter said, there's this concert going to be on. Do you want to go and see it? I said, who's that? And she said, I don't know. I looked and went, Midnight Oil's going to be on. Yes, we'll go and see that. Thank you very much. So it was a thing called Stomping Ground, and it had been on once before 20 years ago. And 20 years ago, the Oils played there alongside Yothu Yindi and the Warumpi Band. And this time it went a lot of the day, but there was quite a few Indigenous, so some Indigenous traditional dancing, some Indigenous bands, so Yatangal, and Black Bala Magic.
You've always been really good at this pronunciation of
Black
non-straightforward English, haven't you?
But the other one that was there was the Pigram Brothers, or as they always call them, the Piggies. Oh, fucking great. I love the Pigram Brothers. And they are literally a local Broome band, and they just sing about Broome and all this sort of stuff. Fantastic.
So what was Garrett like?
Look, so they were the very last band on. He still had a lot of energy, but look, he's getting on a bit, so he's not bouncing around like he was before. The singing is sensational. The songs are just sensational, and they finish off with Power and the Passion, and it's just huge version of Power and the Passion. And they walk off, and everybody goes, more, more, more. And he walks back on and he goes, you got to be fucking kidding, mate, after that.
Really?
But he was, no, they were really good, really high energy, just great musos. And the other thing was that they still had a cause, which was really good, because apparently, I didn't know this, someone wants to dam the Fitzroy River, which is one of the big rivers up in the Kimberley, which just has tribe after tribe of Indigenous people hanging off the river, which is, their life. They live on the river, and the river's actually in flood at the moment. That's part of the cycle of the place. And someone thought, let's dam that river so we can make we can use it to grow shit up there. I just think there's a thing up there called the Ord River Scheme, which is another massive dam. That's just someone just come along. They don't use any of the water out of that virtually.
Is that right?
They want us anyway. So I don't think it's going ahead because there's actually heritage. It's got a heritage listing and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, no, it was really good having them up there, and they were just awesome. And they actually knew a lot of the locals. They knew the Pigram brothers and all this sort of stuff. They've just been, because they're just right into it. And fantastic concert. So he was energetic, but not to the same level he was 40 years ago.
Well, you're not 20 all the time, are you?
That's right. But he was really good.
That's excellent.
Yeah, and as I said, he did at least have an environmental T-shirt on to say, don't dam the Fraser, the Fitzroy River, which is great.
Well, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Although we've been getting out to see a lot of bands, I missed their final show in Sydney, which is a real shame because they did 10 to 1.
Oh, they did
in
the
full.
album.
Yeah.
It's a thing, isn't it? We're seeing people play albums.
Yeah.
It's really interesting, isn't it?
Well, I think it's great. They're at their peak in expertise and playing skill, and they're playing the albums that formed our life.
Yeah. No, it's Anyway, but I think that is the end for them. I don't think they're going to do a Johnny Farnham and come back 20 times. Well, certainly Johnny Farnham isn't going to come back anymore, that's for sure.
I wouldn't think so, no.
No.
Which is a bit of a shame, but all good things have to come to an end at some point.
You can have a life. You've got to be able to have a life. Anyway, no, they were really good. It was really good to have them up there in the bush. They even brought all this set up, and it was really good. So it actually looked like the tour, the whole tour was, so highly recommended. Get one for the office, I say. What else we got there? Did you see about Rob Hurst's daughter?
No, I didn't. Tell me.
So, he had a relationship probably either at the beginning of the Oils or just before the Oils, and the woman had a baby. And they adopted the baby out.
Oh.
Anyway, turns out they eventually the woman who is now his daughter was really wanted to make contact with the wife and her mother and her father. And anyway, she couldn't. Finally, probably about 3 or 4 years ago, say thereabouts, somewhere like that, they get a phone call saying, we've had a request. Would you like to know who your mother is? And she said, yes. So she meets her mother. She hears from her mother. So this is going on in COVID, just before COVID. Anyway, oddly enough, she's a country singer in America, and she lives down in Nashville way, and she's quite a successful country singer. Anyway, she finds out that. So then she actually knows. I think she knows Jim Magini. I think she knows. I beg your pardon. And he came round to their house at the same time that Rob Hurst rings her and says, "Hello, I'm your father." And he says, "I'm Rob Hurst and I play for the Midnight Oil." And she says, That's weird because one of your fellow people is here in my house coming for dinner.
Isn't that awesome?
So over COVID, they made an album together. So they recorded it on each side of the Pacific. He was recording tracks, and she was recording tracks over there, and they were shipping them overnight to each other, and they made a whole album whilst in the middle of COVID. And after COVID, they got together, and for the first time, they saw each other.
What's the album called?
I wish you hadn't have asked me that because I don't think I wrote it down.
I think it's called The Lost and the Found.
It is, and I've listened to it too. It's really good. It's actually quite good. I forgot to write it down. Oh, yeah, that's right. I wrote it down.
That's why I write your notes, Jeffrey.
Thanks, mate. Anyway, so good stuff.
Great.
Good story. Good story.
Yeah,
nice
is.
to see. Nice to see.
And Rob Hurst hasn't done a lot of work outside of Midnight Oil, but he's certainly been there helping people come through over the last 40 years. And he had a stint in a band called the Ghostwriters.
Oh, did he?
Where he with Rick Grossman from the Hoodoo Gurus.
And I'll tell you what, I saw this interview with him and his daughter in Australia. And I think he's even more left-wing than Garrett.
Oh, no.
He's right into it.
Oh, that's...
So I thought I was a bit surprised. I didn't mind, but I just was a bit surprised. Anyway.
That's all right.
Look, mate, I think have we done Midnight Oil to death, or do we have anything else up in your back pocket?
I think we're good, mate.
I think we're good.
No, it's one of Australia's greatest bands, certainly a great export, and they might not have been a total commercial success in the US, but they certainly made them aware that they existed.
They did a great MTV Unplugged too.
Yes, yeah.
Where they actually played unplugged, unlike so many other people who actually chuck a electric bass in. They actually had an acoustic bass and all that sort of stuff. So actually a really good unplugged.
That would tie in with their attitude to everything.
That's right.
You're going to do it properly.
Do it properly. Yeah. Also, the next episode is going to be an absolute rip snorter. We're going to be doing a review of the last couple of years. It's coming up to Christmas. It's a bit of festive season. Mick and I might actually share a little drinky poos while we're doing it. So if things go a little bit pear-shaped as we go along, well, you can forgive us. But, hop on and have a listen to us next time. Bye for now.
Thanks, Mick. Thanks, Fat Man. I feel better already.
I can add that in now if you want.
And so don't forget to listen to the next episode, the last one of the season.
And also the next episode is going to be an absolute